Hello, everybody. Welcome to another theory test. Got Mark with us.
Good evening.
Right.
How are you?
All right.
Good. Not a lot of chatting at the moment, but I'll go through it. First thing I've got D. Harris says, good evening, Daniel and Mark. Good evening, D.
Hey, Dave.
We've got Gillian's Dotson who says, good evening, Daniel and Mark. Good evening, Gillian.
Hey, man.
Gillian's Dot says, good evening, D. And D says, good evening, Gillian. And that's it for now. I'm going to shut this window.
No, man. Hit the wrong one. That's close one. There it is.
How should you signal if you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left after you leave the roundabout and enter the new road. Signal right on the approach and then left to leave the roundabout. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. Signal right on the approach to the roundabout and keep the signal on.
Right. So you're going straight ahead. You want to pass a turn in. So you don't want that one. Then when you come round, so I would think it'd be signal after you pass first turning.
Signal left after you leave the roundabout and enter the new road. Signal right on the approach and then left to leave the roundabout.
No, because they're not thing you want to.
Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. Signal right on the approach to the roundabout and keep the signal on.
No, I'll confuse people.
You are travelling at 50 miles an hour on a good dry road. What is your typical overall stopping distance? 53 metres, that's 175 feet. 96 metres, that's 315 feet. 36 metres, that's 118 feet. 75 metres, that's 245 feet.
Right. It's dry, so I think it's going to be between 36 and 53.
Where would it be unsafe to overtake? Travelling up a long hill. On a one-way street. On a single carriageway. Approaching a junction.
Portion junction because you don't know what's coming around the corner.
You're approaching this roundabout. What should you do when a cyclist is keeping to the left while signalling to turn right? Allow them space to turn. Assume they're turning left. Sound your horn. Overtake them.
Allow them speed.
What's most likely to increase fuel consumption? Poor steering control. Staying in high gears. Harsh braking and accelerating. Accelerating around bends.
Off braking in the acceleration.
You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? Flash your headlights. Use full beam headlights. Use dipped headlights. Switch off your headlights.
Use dip.
Use A police officer asks to see your documents. You don't have them with you. How many days do you have to produce them at a police station?
7 days.
Where would parking your vehicle cause an obstruction? In a marked parking space. In front of a property entrance. Alongside a parking meter. On your driveway.
Private way, parking bay, and outside of a cafe, or park places in outside.
In front of a property entrance.
Not stopping them coming out.
You're planning to tow a caravan. What will help the handling of the combination? Power steering fitted to the towing vehicle. A stabilizer fitted to the tow bar. Anti-lock brakes fitted to the towing vehicle. A jockey wheel fitted to the tow bar. You're planning to tow a caravan. What will help the handling of the combination? Power steering fitted to the towing vehicle. A stabilizer fitted to the tow bar. Anti-lock brakes fitted to the towing vehicle. A jockey wheel fitted to the tow bar.
Don't think it's a jockey wheel. Until it breaks. Oh.
A stabilizer fitted to the tow bar. Anti-lock brakes fitted to the towing vehicle. You're planning to tow a caravan. What will help the handling of the combination? A stabilizer fitted to the tow bar.
Yeah.
How can drivers help the environment? By using leaded fuel, by accelerating harshly, by driving faster, by accelerating gently.
Using leaded fuel.
There's been a collision. How can you help a driver who's suffering from shock? Offer them a cigarette. Reassure them confidently. Ask who caused the incident. Give them a drink.
No, you don't give them to drink or cigarette, or you don't ask them questions, so reassure them.
What hazard should you be aware of when travelling along this street? Lack of road markings. Glare from the sun. Children running out between vehicles. Large goods vehicles.
Children.
What's the reason for traffic calming measures? To slow traffic down. To make parking easier. To make overtaking easier. To stop road rage.
Slow traffic down.
You're driving in a built-up area that has traffic calming measures. What should you do when you approach a road hump? Stop and check both pavements. Check your mirror and slow down. Move across to the left-hand side of the road. Wait for any pedestrians to cross.
check your mirrors and slow down.
What is the national speed limit on a single carriageway road for cars and motorcycles?
I think I'll cover 60.
Why should you make sure that your indicators are cancelled after turning at a junction? To avoid misleading other road users. To avoid flattening the battery. To avoid damage to the indicator relay. To avoid dazzling other road users.
Avoid misleading.
You're travelling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? When you can see well ahead that the hard shoulder is clear. When the traffic in the right-hand lane is signalling right. When you warn drivers behind by signalling left. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are.
Stall.
When you warn drivers behind by signalling left.
I don't think it's that one.
When the traffic in the right-hand lane is signalling right.
I don't think it's that one.
When you can see well ahead that the hard shoulder is clear.
Could be.
When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are.
I think that will make more sense.
What information is found on a vehicle registration document? The date of the MOT, the type of insurance cover, the service history details, the registered keeper. What information is found on a vehicle registration document?
The vehicle keeper.
How will a school crossing patrol signal you to stop? By pointing to children waiting to cross. By displaying a red light. By displaying a stop sign. By giving you an arm signal.
Display a stop sign.
What's the national speed limit for a car or motorcycle on a motorway?
70.
You're driving at night. What should you do if you're dazzled by headlights coming towards you? Slow down or stop. Shade your eyes with your hand. Pull down your sun visor. Flash your main beam headlights.
Pull down the sun visor.
You arrive at the scene of a crash where someone is bleeding heavily from a wound in their arm. Nothing is embedded in the wound. What could you do to help? Get them a drink. Dab the wound. Walk them around and keep them talking. Apply pressure over the wound.
Peer pressure.
What should the driver of the grey car be especially aware of? The uneven road surface. Traffic following behind. Doors opening on parked car. Empty parking spaces.
Doors opening.
There are objects hanging from your interior mirror. Why could this be a hazard? Your view could be obstructed. Your sun visor might get tangled. Your radio reception might be affected. Your windscreen could mist up more easily. Your view could be obstructed.
Yeah.
What does this sign mean? Road narrows. tall bridge.
No.
End of dual carriageway. End of narrow bridge.
Right. No, it's not narrow bridge. Or tall.
Road narrows. End of dual carriageway.
Definitely. Or nose.
What is the main hazard shown in this picture? Vehicles turning right. Parked cars around the corner. The cyclist crossing the road. Vehicles doing U-turns.
When may you enter a box junction? When your exit road is clear. When traffic signs direct you. When signalled by another road user. When there are fewer than 2 vehicles ahead.
When your exit road is clear.
What should you be prepared to do in this situation? Report the driver to the police. Slow down and give way. Sound your horn and continue. Squeeze through the gap.
Slow down and give way.
How can you identify traffic signs that give orders? They're circular with a red border. They're rectangular with a yellow border. They're square with a brown border. They're triangular with a blue border.
Brown is a point of interest. Stuff for zoos and stuff like that. Red circle. Would be a speed limit.
They're rectangular with a yellow border.
No.
They're triangular with a blue border.
Triangle. No entry. Circle. The red background.
Which vehicle should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? Any vehicle that isn't overtaking. Emergency vehicles only. Slow vehicles only. Large vehicles only.
Slow vehicles.
Any vehicle that isn't overtaking.
Left. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause you drive on the left, so.
Who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? Traffic turning right. Traffic turning left. Traffic going straight on. Nobody.
Your traffic lights. Don't worry. Constantly nobody, because everybody would just go. Maybe traffic goes straight ahead.
What does this sign mean? Level crossing. Tourist attraction. Beware of trams. Beware of trains.
Tourist attraction.
There's been a collision. A motorcyclist is lying injured and unconscious. Why should you only remove their helmet if it's essential? You could scratch the helmet as you remove it. Removing it could make any injuries worse. They might not want you to remove it. Removing it could let them get cold.
Could cause more injuries.
What does this sign mean? Give way to buses. Bus station on the right. With flow bus lane. Contraflow bus lane.
Control.
You're driving on the motorway in windy conditions. What should you do as you overtake a high-sided vehicle? Be wary of a sudden gust. Increase your speed. Expect normal conditions. Drive alongside very closely.
Goes.
What does it mean if the electronic stability control ESC indicator lamp lights up while you're driving? The ESC system is running a routine test. The ESC system has activated. The ESC system is switched off. The ESC system has a fault.
Get activated.
What's likely to happen if you put too much oil in your engine? The oil seals will leak. The clutch pedal will lock. The air intake will become blocked. The timing belt will slip. The oil seals will leak. The clutch pedal will lock. The air intake will become blocked. The timing belt will slip. What hazards should you be especially aware of if you're turning left into a side road? Pedestrians, traffic congestion, parked vehicles, one-way street.
Pedestrian crossing.
Which vehicle should you allow extra room as you overtake them? Bicycle, lorry, tractor, road sweeper.
Bike.
When must you stop your vehicle? At the end of a one-way street, before merging onto a motorway, at a junction where there are give-way lines, if you're involved in an incident that causes damage or injury.
Why should you use your mirrors when you see a hazard ahead? Because you'll need to brake sharply and stop. To check what's happening on the road ahead. To assess how your actions will affect the traffic behind. Because you'll need to accelerate out of danger.
Yeah, your actions affect the cars behind.
What does this arm signal mean? The driver is slowing down. The driver wishes to overtake. The driver intends to turn left. The driver intends to turn right.
it's, I don't think it's turning right or left. I think overtake. It's slowing down.
Who should obey diamond-shaped traffic signs? Bus drivers, tram drivers, lorry drivers, taxi drivers.
Will bus driver, lorry drivers, and taxi drivers all be the same ones? I think it's ram drivers.
You're driving on this dual carriageway. Why may you need to slow down? There are solid white lines on either side. There's a broken white line in the centre. There are roadworks ahead of you. There are no footpaths.
Good works.
Where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? On the left-hand edge of the road, separating the lanes, separating the slip road from the motorway, on the right-hand edge of the road.
Vote.
You are driving along a country lane during a long period of heavy rain. There is standing water on the road. Halfway along a section of straight road, you see a warning sign with the word "Ford" on it. The rain is particularly heavy, but you believe that you can cross safely. You estimate that it's no more than 4 or 5 inches deep. You slow right down and continue to drive through it slowly and in a low gear with high revs. In the event, the water is a little higher than you expected, but you are able to drive through safely. On the other side, you start to accelerate back to a safe speed for the conditions, wondering what damage the high water might have done and if there is anything you need to do to ensure your safety. What does this sign mean? Uneven road surface.
No.
Road ahead ends.
Mm-hmm.
Water across the road.
On what type of road surface may anti-lock brakes be ineffective? Firm, smooth, dry, loose.
Don't think it's smooth or dry. Nothing normal. Something with loose, like gravel and stuff.
You're driving along a country road. You see this sign. What should you do after dealing safely with the hazard? Test your brakes. Accelerate briskly. Check your tyre pressures. Switch on your hazard warning lights.
Check your brakes.
What should you do when dealing with this hazard? Switch on your hazard warning lights. Use a high gear to prevent wheel spin. Switch on your windscreen wipers. Use a low gear and drive slowly.
Low gear.
You've just gone through floodwater. What should you do to make sure your brakes are working properly? Go slowly while gently applying the brakes. Avoid using the brakes at all for a few miles. Stop for at least an hour to allow them time to dry. Accelerate and keep to a high speed for a short time.
I slow down.
Go slowly while gently applying the brakes.
Yep.
Hey. Okay, so good working out on some of them tonight, Dano.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So 10. We have had this one before. leaded fuel is very dangerous and very
Yeah.
harmful to the environment. That's why we have now unleaded fuel.
Yeah.
So you can save the environment by accelerating gently, smoother driving.
Yeah.
Okay. 21. You're driving at night. What should you do if you're dazzled by headlights coming towards you? Well, there's no sun at night, so you won't put down your sun visor. So it's safer to slow down and stop. Okay.
Yeah. I just
Sun visor is for sun.
yeah. I thought obviously with the dazzling you, you'll bring it down.
Well, no, because you've got to understand that the headlights will be on the road. The sun is in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. What does this sign mean? You put road narrows, end of dual carriageway.
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah. You're almost there, but yeah, end of
Yeah.
dual carriageway. Okay, next, 31. Who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? It's a good one, but
Yeah.
nobody. So if the traffic lights are out of order, it's every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I was thinking is obviously chaos. Everyone would just try to go. It would,
Yeah, I've been through situations where they've been out of order. It's not a nice experience.
no, no.
Everybody's in a rush trying to get to the same place,
Yeah.
but nobody has priority. Next one, 42, is what does this arm signal mean? You put the driver is slowing down. It's actually the driver intends to turn left.
I thought it was up and down for turning left.
It's a circular motion it's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one. Where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? Separating the lanes is white.
Mm.
Separating the right-hand lane is the amber.
Yeah.
Separating the left lane from the hard shoulder is red. So it's separating the right-hand edge of the road.
No.
Okay. It's pass,
Yeah.
which is the main thing.
Hey.
Gillian's dot says well done. And D. Harris says indicators out. So looking at it, we're right on the ball path now.
Yeah.
Of you getting average of a pass, but just a few things you need to brush up on. A few things that are still just neat, like motorway reflective studs. Is
Yes.
one. Your signs, you really need to get on with your signs. But the
I've been
rest,
doing a lot of just quizzes on the signs
yeah.
on the app.
Yeah. So you just need to work on them aspects, and then yeah, you'll be there. D says a pass is a pass. Good job, young lad.
Thank you.
So there we go. I think next live will be MCC UK tomorrow at 7.
Yep. And I'll probably do another one of these. Wednesday, you're busy, aren't you?
Yeah.
It'll be Thursday.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's going to be 6 or 7. I can't remember what time I'm at work on the Friday.
Right. Okay.
But obviously, I'll let you know.
There's no rush because you're getting there with it now. It's you're working them out, which is the main thing. It's just these little aspects you need to polish up on, and you'll be ready for your theory test.
Yeah. Hopefully back before the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you might be sooner than that.
Yeah. Well, saying, it's obviously, I think if I can go before the end of the year, I can stay it, I'll be happy.
I reckon summer, end of summer, you'll be ready. I think you will be. Just need a bit more confidence, but like I said, summer, end of summer, you'll be ready. And you know, if say it was 2-3 month waiting list for your theory test, I'd be saying book it now.
Yeah.
So you know, it's you are almost there. You just need to polish up on these questions, and then you'll pass. So you are on the last step, literally. You just need to get them bits that you're getting wrong,
yeah,
and you'll be there because you're getting passes after passes after passes. So you've just got to just say, right, I need to make sure I get that right, and you'll be there. I'll be saying, book it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that you've got every question. You go in for it the same day as me. We'll have 2 different set of questions.
Yeah.
And it's knowing every aspect of it.
But you've got to think about it. A theory test is broken down into many categories. So there's signs, there's first aid, there's all that. And what you're doing in the mock test is you are literally, they're throwing all the different categories in there. Now, you are now at the point where you're getting more or less all them categories correct.
Yeah.
I can just see 1 or 2 that you just really need to knuckle down and get in your head. So, you know, it's at the end of the day, like I said, you're almost there with it now. You just need to get these last bits in your head. And I would say to you, as your instructor, I would be saying, book it. One of the things that got me tonight was the roundabout question and when to signal when you're going straight ahead. And you thought about it as a driver, not as just a learner. You thought about it as a driver. And that can be roundabouts can be one of the hardest things to teach people to drive with.
Yeah.
And the rules of a roundabout. So you can get these little bits in your head that we need to finish off. You'll be ready before you know it.
Yeah.
And if you're nervous and it doesn't happen on the day, that's fine. You'll know the experience, and you just go for it again.
Yeah.
There's no limit to how many times you can take it.
Yeah. There's people that work. It was, I would say, smarter than me because of their levels up. And they have said they failed first time. They said it's not because they don't know it. It's gonna be nerves.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting that. I don't want to go in and fail, but you can't do expect.
But just when you go in there, you've got me in your ear.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can have a very annoying voice at times. So just, yeah, you go in there. My recommendation on the day is I always say to people, right, so you go in there, you go through it. Any you're not sure on, you can flag and then go back to them. And then I say to them, you've got plenty enough time to go through the questions again. After you've gone through that again, take 5 or 10 minutes before you do the hazard perception, because you've got that time. And then you relax more and you go through the hazard perception.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, right, I'll say my good night. So it's a good night from me. I'll see everybody tomorrow night on MCC UK.
And night from me. Night, everyone.